Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. I'm starting my 2015 baseball coverage right now, kicking off the season with Troy West from allplayswin.com. We did a very successful baseball show with me last year. We're going to start things off with season win totals, and we're going to start talking to Troy about his hometown team. He has a great read on day in and day out, week in and week out, year in and year out, the Seattle Mariners. Troy West from allplayswin.com. Thanks for being back with us.
Thanks, Pete. I appreciate it. Yeah, as the serious gamblers look at these, Pete, I think there's some serious value to these. So some of you guys that have the opportunity to bet these future bets, pay attention closely because I think there's a ton of value. Sucks to lock up your money for that long, but you know what? I think it's a serious investment.
Absolutely, and it's also good just to analyze the lines, even if you're not going to bet them, to get a good feel for all the teams as you head into the regular season because, you know, you want to start riding that wave of day in and day out game value as soon as possible. All right, Seattle. Last year they were 87 and 75, right? They were actually a slightly profitable team to bet on. They were the 9th most profitable team in baseball at about plus 2% ROI, which put them at about plus 4 units overall on the year. So they were, you know, a winning team and a profitable team to bet on. This year the market has them at Bookmaker. I have 86.5 wins, heavily juiced to the over. So I guess that would put them at what, like, I don't know, 88 or so, 87.5. They're 86.5. Over is minus 149. The under is 129. You know, Felix Hernandez is awesome in his prime, not throwing as hard as he used to, but he's got an awesome changeup. Probably going to have another great year. They should have a pretty good bullpen. The offense, I don't know, some questions, right? They signed Nelson Cruz. Was that smart? You know, Seattle historically has a history of having, you know, bad production from their DHs, and Nelson Cruz fits that mold perfectly. He's like terribly suited for Safeco. And Seattle turned out to be a very good bet on the road last year. They had the 2nd best road ROI in all of baseball last year, but the 7th worst home ROI in all of baseball. So what's your take on Seattle? Do you think that, well, let's start with the win total, 86.5. Do you think that they're going to have a successful year? That probably they're a good bet on the over in that one.
Pete, I hate to use this term in this industry, but the over to me is almost dang near a lock. I love this team to win at least 90 baseball games this year, Pete. This team has improved so dramatically. Love the over 90 in this one, Pete. It really comes down to pitching. This is, without a doubt, arguably the best pitching staff in all of baseball. I would put it right behind the Nationals. But, Pete, this Taijuan Walker has been outstanding. He's given up 1 earned run in 27 innings pitched in spring training. He's just been absolutely outstanding. You've got James Paxton. Let's not forget about Iwakuma. And then you got an all-star closer in Fernando Rodney. This team, Pete, has been predicted by many to be in the World Series. Mm-hmm. I see it myself. I really do. And so for that total to just be around that 86 number, this team will win 90 games this year. I'm very confident of that. It's a winner. Go with the over, Pete.
So maybe that translates then into expected line value for Seattle, at least in the opening months. Last year, they were very unprofitable in April, but then they had very profitable Mays and June. So if you blindly bet them in April, May, and June last year, you had a nice return. Do you anticipate that Seattle will be a profitable bet in the first few months of the season as well?
I do. No, absolutely. They do start off a tough series, obviously, against the Angels, who are predicted to win that division. But they've got some games, if you look at really closely at the schedule, which I have, you know, they're playing teams like the Minnesota Twins, the Houston Astros, so they could get off to a real hot start that would make this look good, Pete. And they've got a great minor league system too, so when you get into the later months of the season, Pete, they've got extremely deep pitching where a lot of teams don't.
All right, and don't forget that Seattle last year was very profitable on the road and quite unprofitable at home. They also were the Major League's biggest under-trending team at home. They went 65% unders at home last season. Do you expect that to roughly repeat, Troy?
I think that's going to repeat, Pete, absolutely. You know, they had a J.A. Happ, who a lot of people were concerned about. He had a rough go in Toronto, but you bring him into this hitter ballpark, you know, I think his ERA is going to dramatically go down, and you're going to see a lot of totals at the 8.5 mark. So throughout the course of the season, hopefully we can talk about it, but I think there's going to be some spots where you could really lock in some unders. Always a good under bet in Seattle when you got guys like Felix Hernandez, Iwakuma, Walker, Paxton. Unders are going to be a good bet without a doubt.
Awesome thoughts. Troy West from allplayswin.com recommending play on the over. Seattle win total currently 86.5 minus 149. This is just the current line at Bookmaker, so I'll quote that one. Troy West from allplayswin.com. Tell us what your website's all about.
Hey, thanks, Pete. I appreciate it. Yeah, we've just been on an absolute tear here in March Madness, starting to pick up our game here in the NBA. We cover the NHL. We cover everything, Pete. And if we don't, we bring on the best to do it. Come take a look, Pete. One-stop shop in this industry. 9 years going strong. Great customer service. We have a great money management system in place. Come take a look. allplayswin.com.